Cinematics team for all your hard work, and thanks for everybody for playing Starcraft 2.
And we'll open up for questions now. Anybody? Questions? Do we have a mic?
Here, with the mic.
We have mics placed around the stage.
Yeah.
Yep, he's got it.
There we go.
Hi. I was here at the last year's panel where you were talking about the cinematic between Zeratul and Kerrigan and how you had storyboarded it and how it was going to be really long, too long for a pre-rendered cinematic. And as gorgeous as that looked as a pre-rendered cinematic, did you ever think anywhere down the pipeline, you know, we have so much that we really want to show between these two characters, maybe this should be an in-game cinematic?
Nick?
We were developing the in-game pipeline during the creation of that cinematic, so it really wasn't up and running at that time. And in the future, we're definitely looking at situations like that that are just so large with the types of shots that we had in... backing up, just real quick so you understand, like James was saying, the pipeline for in-game is so fast as a director. It allows us to move so quickly and focus on story and not worry about shot numbers. And in the pre-rendered pipe, we actually count how many shots we have. It's extremely limiting, right? So in the future, situations like that, when we're going to tell a huge operatic story between two characters fighting or something like that, we'd probably consider putting in the in-game pipeline. So yeah, in the future, definitely.
First of all, I wanted to say that it was impressive to see what you guys did. I love pre-rendered graphics, but what you guys were able to do was awesome. And I know I'm one of the many fans who loved having an extra helping of such great cinematics. My question is, do you guys feel that given current hardware, you can actually push the level of detail and optimization for these graphics such that the cinematics can get even closer to how realistic and awesome they look, closer to pre-rendered graphics? And as a matter of fact, are there plans to do that with Heart of the Swarm?
As a matter of fact, we do have plans to add some new graphical features. We do think we can push it a little further than we have in the past. That said, though, one of Blizzard's mandates that kind of helps set us apart from other PC gaming companies is that we want our games to be accessible to a really wide audience. We want as many people as possible to be able to play these movies back. So that means that at our highest quality settings, we can add crazy levels of features and really cool stuff, but we have to make sure the movies still work without those. So any features that we add can't be critical to the storytelling.
Hi, I think whenever I look at the stuff that you guys do, it looks like people who really enjoy their jobs and love what they're doing, and like you have a pretty fluid way of, well, an organic way of getting together and talking things out. And I just wanted to see how much of your time do you guys spend together just like storyboarding stuff, bouncing ideas off each other versus actually going out and doing that? Is it like team meeting, let's get a plan and break, and you split out?
Well, I try to keep the meetings to a minimum, but the teams all they sit all together in big bullpens, so even the most dedicated work session often turns into a brainstorming session, and everybody gives everybody else feedback. So we're always walking around looking at each other's work, we're showing each other what we're working on, and when people have ideas, they're not shy about throwing them out there, and then that often spirals into some interesting ideas.
Hi, given how detailed the in-game cinematics are, such as I noticed that the rain pours down the textures in one scene, and obviously the facial animation when they're talking, is that something that fans can do with the cinematic tools in the level editor, or no?
Depends on the feature. The rain pouring down the surfaces was something that killed us for a very long time. We actually had to do all that manually. So the tool set won't let you do that. Some of the other stuff we did, the rain particles falling through the sky, you can totally do that. Was there any other specific features that you wanted that you were interested in?
Yes. The voices and stuff. I mean, obviously anyone could record their own voice and do the acting, but what about the lip syncing? Is that something you can actually take the faces of the characters and animate it in that detail?
I don't think so. I'm not positive, though.
I don't think you can quite do that. Face effects is probably not included in all that the package, but if you were to get face effects on your own, you may be able to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so when it came to Warcraft 3, you guys used a lot of schematics instead of in-game renders, and used a lot of, pre-rendered movies. I'm kind of wondering, why at that point, that was really the last game that you chose to go that way only and started to go more in-game movies, kind of like back what you were saying with a few questions before where you can only make the movies so detailed because every computer has to be able to play them at different settings and you can only do so much stuff. With that hurdle, why is it still that you chose to go this route versus all pre-rendered, the best looking you can make movies and in-game schematics?
Well, up until Starcraft 2, all of the in-game storytelling was done by the game team. If there was a scene where within the game 2 characters started talking to each other and they needed to develop the story arc, the game team would create that. But that takes the game team away from what they're best at, making the game. And we do have a department where all we do is make movies. So we figured it made sense to create a team that could create a large amount of content for these games. Now, on the pre-rendered side, those movies that look so amazing, they look so good because they take a really long time to make. And that means that the number of minutes we can produce is limited unless we wanted to grow the team to a really insane size. And we don't want to do that. We like the culture that we have and don't want to blow up the team so big that it changes. So the compromise that seemed to be a win-win for everyone was having a dedicated team that just makes in-game cinematics.
All right. That was my question. Thanks.
Hey, is there any plans to make a longer cinematic for the games, like 30 minutes plus?
For StarCraft 2?
In general.
We've talked about doing downloadable content. We've talked about doing episodic TV shows. We've talked a lot, I guess, is the bottom line. If we can ever get to the point where we can fully support the teams as we need to and also be developing additional content on the side, we would definitely be interested in doing it, but we're not there yet.
All right. Thanks.
What's going on? We just want to find out when the Overdrive t-shirt is coming out. That's what we want. I think you've got an IP there that you need to tap into. Thanks.
Great.
I just want to say great job.